Hello gainers, I'm Ralphie and welcome to my channel called Fitter Philosophy, in which I share my personal life experience in various aspects and some details to share it so as the collective humanoid consciousness and awareness can be raised. Because that is one of the great benefits of the internet, is the sharing of information, and a lot of information in life is gained from experience, and unfortunately, as part of the human condition, most experience is lost over the centuries, and with it valuable information needs to be refound, rediscovered over time, and inventions which we had in the past we no longer have because they've been forgotten about, erased from memory and just waiting to be re-noticed in the fullness of time. But this particular video, because I was starting to digress there, you probably noticed, this particular video is about what I'm noticing personally more than I used to in the changing of the seasons, because at the moment we're really at the end of the summer where I am, in the Northern Hemisphere, and in the British Isles, right at the centre of the British Isles. And it's moving from summer into autumn, and you can feel the change in the air, so to speak. So there's not a specific date in the calendar for it. It's all down to the change in the weather. And that's happening right now at the middle of August. You can see we're heading into the end of summer, and then there's this short fluctuating overlap with autumn where the temperature changes, the nights get longer, the leaves fall from the deciduous trees and all the flowers in the garden disappear, well most of them, to hibernate. And it's something which as a youngster I just ignored. And particularly living in a city, I would ignore the changing of the seasons because it all basically was treated as one: spring, summer, autumn, winter, on this constant rotation, where sure the nights are a bit longer in the summer, so you might have a few more days out, camping trips, bit of surfing, you know, the usual. But I'm noticing a lot more now as I get older, the way that I personally adapt, which I used to ignore and suffer really marginal suffering as a consequence of trying to behave during winter time as if it was summer. But time's marching on and I'm much more aware of it. I sleep less during the summer. I have much more time outdoors doing walking exercise, cycling exercise, and I kind of do more in that season according to that season. And I also find myself drinking less whiskey, less alcohol generally, more maybe a whiskey and a pint at the weekend, apart from the samples that I need to just check on a regular basis, but they're very, very small quantities. As part of my other channel, Ralphie.com, whiskey review channel, in case you don't know, but most of you do. And but winter time, I now notice that I'm eating more carbohydrates and fats in winter than I used to. I'm sleeping more in winter. I'm getting up later in the morning. Fortunately, I'm in a position I can do that because of my circumstance and the nature of my job. And I'm adapting more to the seasons to roll with it more comfortably because I have experience now and I recognise it. But I do notice people around me, and you'll notice this too, they don't recognise it because they're so tuned into their own little world, in their own little box, that they're just ignoring the outside world, the natural world around, and not adjusting and even recognising the seasons at times. Apart from saying in summer that it's too hot and in winter it's too cold, and when it's dry it should be wetter, and when it's wet it should be drier. People can be so superficial, and we're surrounded by people who, as much as we're inspired by some, it's worth knowing who we are not inspired by and why. And there's a sensitivity to life, which is something subtle and slight and precious, which some people have, but many people learn over time, and some people never learn at all. And I suppose that's what I'm really talking about here and concluding with, is the subtle awareness of how to live life according to our environment and the world around us, particularly the natural world, in which if we don't connect with it, we become a stranger to it. And that is a tragedy, because humans and planet Earth are virtually one and the same collectively in a certain context. But thank you for watching. I'm going to leave it at that now. I'm Ralphie. I'll leave you with the view here. It's a bit grey, I'm afraid, but it is the seaside, it is coastal, the tide is out, and there's a lovely sound of lapping waves in the background. And frankly, I wouldn't change this environment for anything. I'm Ralphie. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my sharing of observations. If you have, click subscribe, bang the bell, blah blah if it's still there, and leave a comment and a like, and we'll see you soon, gainers. Bye bye.